Alright, buckle up, because this is going to be a game changer. Ever scrolled through social media, seen those posts about people making money online, and wondered, how on earth do they actually make their first $1,000 online without any special experience or a huge bankroll? I've been there staring at that same question. Well, today, I'm pulling back the curtain. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made my first $1,000 online, step by step, no fluff, no BS, just the real actionable stuff that worked for me. All tools that I have used to make my first one grant is linked down below. I'll also share what I'd do differently if I had to start all over again today, knowing what I know now. Plus, you'll find every tool I used linked in the pinned comment and description below. No gatekeeping, just what actually helped. This isn't just a story, it's a roadmap. Before this journey into earning online income began, I was probably a lot like you. I was working a job that paid the bills but didn't light any fires within me. I'd hear about making money online, and it felt like this exclusive club I wasn't invited to. I was drowning in information overload, confused by all the gurus promising instant riches with their secret formulas. The truth, I just wanted a little more financial breathing room, a bit more control over my time, and the thrill of building something myself. I didn't have a business degree, no coding skills, no massive startup capital stashed away. I was just an average person with a laptop, a decent internet connection, and a growing desire for change. I felt like I was standing at the bottom of a huge mountain, looking up, wondering if I even had the right shoes to start climbing. That feeling of being overwhelmed was real, but so was the spark of hope that there had to be a way. The biggest shift for me wasn't finding some secret website or magic trick. It was a fundamental mindset shift. I had to break free from the belief that you needed to be some kind of tech genius or have a massive online following to even get your foot in the door. That's the biggest myth out there. I'm here to tell you, loud and clear, you don't need thousands of followers, you don't need fancy, expensive gear, and you don't even need a website to begin your journey toward making your first $1,000 on the line. Seriously, the method I used to hit that first milestone might actually surprise you with its directness and simplicity. It wasn't about complicated funnels or risky investments. It was about identifying a real need and offering a real solution, something anyone with dedication can learn to do. It was about realizing that my existing, perhaps overlooked skills could be valuable to someone else, somewhere in the world. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual step-by-step process I followed. The skill I chose to leverage was freelance graphic design, specifically creating simple social media graphics and logos, and the platform I primarily used to get started was Fiverr. Why graphic design? Well, I always had a bit of an eye for visuals, I enjoyed playing around with free design tools, and I noticed a massive ongoing demand. Every business, big or small, needs graphics for their social media, their websites, their marketing. It's accessible because there are amazing free and low-cost tools out there, and the barrier to entry wasn't a 4-year degree, it was a willingness to learn and create a decent portfolio. Setting up was the first hurdle, but it was straightforward. I created a Fiverr account, which is free. The key was making my profile look as professional as possible. I used a clear, friendly photo of myself. For my gig descriptions, I was super specific about what I offered. I will design 5 engaging Instagram posts for your business, or I will create a minimalist logo designs. I used tools like Canva, which has a fantastic free version that's incredibly powerful for beginners. If you're serious about freelancing, Canva Pro is a game changer. I've linked it below. I spent a weekend creating a small portfolio of sample designs, some mock Instagram posts for different types of businesses, a few logo concepts. These weren't for real clients yet, they were just to showcase what I could do. I made sure my gig images were eye-catching and clearly displayed the type of work I was offering. Think of your Fiverr gig as your mini storefront. It needs to be inviting and clear. Finding that very first client felt like searching for a needle in a haystack initially. On Fiverr, clients come to you based on your gig listings, so the magic was in how I optimized my gigs. I researched what successful sellers in my niche were doing. I looked at their titles, descriptions, and pricing. I didn't copy them, but I learned from them. I used relevant keywords like social media graphics, custom logo, Canva designs. To stand out, I offered a slightly lower introductory price for my basic package, just to get those first few orders orders and, more importantly, those first crucial reviews. I also made sure my communication was top-notch from the moment someone messaged me. I replied quickly, politely, and asked clarifying questions to understand their needs. My first client ordered a small package of 5 Instagram posts. It wasn't a huge payday, but the feeling of getting that first order was electric. It was proof that this could actually work. Delivering value was and still is my absolute top priority. For that first client and every client after, I made sure I over-delivered. If they ordered 5 posts, I might add an extra small graphic as a bonus, or offer a revision very graciously. I use Canva extensively, leveraging its templates, but always customizing them heavily to make the designs unique to the client's brand. I'd ask for their brand colors, fonts, and any inspiration they had. Communication was key throughout the process. I'd send drafts, ask for feedback, and make revisions promptly. The goal wasn't just to complete the order, it was to make the client so happy they'd leave a glowing review and potentially come back for more. For project management, a simple Trello board or even a Google Sheets document helped me keep track of orders, deadlines, and client communications. No fancy paid tools were needed at this stage to start earning online income. Scaling to that first $1,000 wasn't from one giant project, it was a series of smaller sales. My average order value at the beginning was around 30, so hitting $1,000 meant completing around 50 orders. This took me about 2.5 months of consistent effort. Some days I get multiple orders, other days, none. The key lessons during this scaling phase were patience, persistence, and the power of good reviews. Each positive review made my gigs more visible and trustworthy, leading to more orders. I also started to learn which types of gigs were more popular and what price points worked best. I gradually increased my prices as I gained more reviews and experience. It was a grind, but seeing that total earned amount creep up towards $1,000 was incredibly motivating. It was a real testament to the idea of consistent, focused work paying off. Now, let's talk about the bumps in the road, because believe me, there were plenty. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on was pricing my services way too low. I thought it would attract more clients, but it mostly attracted clients who didn't value the work and often led to scope creep. I also wasted time on gigs that weren't a good fit for my skills or interests just because I was eager for any work. This often led to frustration and subpar results. Another trap was the revision vortex, endless revisions from indecisive clients. If I could go back, I'd be much clearer about the number of revisions included in my packages from day one. I'd also learned to politely decline projects that screamed trouble from the initial communication. Trust your gut. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you have to say yes to everyone, especially when you're starting out. Learning to value your time and say no is a crucial step towards freelance success. So if I were starting from absolute zero today, aiming for that first $1,000 online, what would I do differently? Firstly, I'd niche down even faster. Instead of general graphic design, I might focus specifically on social media graphics for local restaurants or logos for wellness coaches. A clear niche allows you to become an expert, charge more, and attract your ideal clients more easily. Secondly, I'd leverage platforms beyond just Fiverr from the get-go. I'd build a simple portfolio on a platform like Behance, or even a one-page site using Card, and I'd be more active in relevant Facebook groups or LinkedIn, not to spam, but to offer value and connect with potential clients. I'd also be more systematic about collecting testimonials and asking for referrals. And honestly, I'd tell new viewers that it's arguably even easier to get started now. There are so many incredible free tools, educational resources, and supportive online communities. The information is out there. You just need the drive to apply it. The path to earning online income is more accessible than ever. This brings me to you. What method are you planning to try, or what's holding you back from starting your journey to make your first $1,000 online? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. I genuinely read and reply to everyone. If you want to shortcut your setup, I've linked my favorite beginner tools below, including Fiverr, Canva Pro, and a free resource on getting your first freelance gig live. And if you found this breakdown valuable and you want more real-world, step-by-step videos like this, showing you how to navigate the online world, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. We're all in this together. And because you've stayed with me all the way to the end, I've got a little something extra for you. I've put together a quick checklist of the key steps I took to set up my freelance gig, including some prompts to help you define your own service. You can download it for free, the link is in the description box below. It's my way of saying thanks and giving you a little nudge to get started. Now, for a little teaser. In my next video, I'm going to break down how I took that initial $1,000 and started to scale it, exploring strategies to find higher paying clients and increase my rates. So make sure those notifications are on, you won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching. If you're ready to dive deeper, check out this video next, how I landed my first high-paying client. It's the perfect follow-up to what we've discussed today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Grab the free checklist plus my favorite beginner tools down in the description.